Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. So today I'm going to explain to you how you can create a transcript, or what we call it as a registration certification, especially when the students are actually attend to the course and then they receive the transcript. These transcripts are very useful, especially if your students are required to prove their attendance or proper documentations that indicate that they already registered and doing all those stuff. Okay, so first of all, you have to log in using your admin account. So in this case, I'm going to simulate an example under the subject environmental health. Okay, so I have a prepare some document over here. So this is the example of the document. So one of the document here actually explain about a picture. Okay, this is a picture for transcript format under the IBES. So it's a basic format that already been created using Microsoft Word. And after that, it's being arranged accordingly so that the student name will be right up here, and then it will generate a QR code for the validations of this thing. So we are going to use the certification module under the Moodle. So to do that, the first one, you go to your site home and then followed by the semester. So this is the semester. Under here, we got a semester, right? So under diploma in environmental health, we got the semester over here. And then we have this class management. So under class management, we are going to construct, for example, a questionnaire or a question and answer so that the students already know what they need to do. What is the basis of that is basically ensuring that all these students are declaring their information must be in a correct manner, so that their name, their IC, their metric number, and so on and so forth are going to be embedded inside those transcripts that I shared with you just now in a correct order. So the first one, you need to have the database. So I have already created the template, and then we are going to make the data useful in our database under Moodle. So first of all, we need to turn the editing on. Under the turn editing on, so inside here, we can just say subject registration transcript. Okay, by doing so, we are going to instruct the student to read some clarification or some sort of pengakuan, or we call it as verify the information. So to do that, basically, I'm going to put some questionnaire. So the questionnaire are going to help me to filter the students where they must do a certain condition. So in this thing is what we call it as a pengakuan or verification. So basically, this is a response once only, and then the respondent name will be appear, and then send the submission notification. Of course, we can check or uncheck that one. Okay, submission grade, I'm going to give grade 100. That's mean if they fulfilling this criteria, they can proceed to generate their own certificate. In this case, the certificate is actually the registrations of the proven transcript that they already been registered in that particular subject or in that particular course or semester. Okay, and after that, I'm going to save and display. All right, and then we need to add the questions. So we just indicate some example of the question. So perhaps I'm just going to use the radio button over here, and then I'm going to make a very simplified question. So the question name will be pengakuan or verifikasi. Verification, verification. So the questions text or the questions that you want to ask is basically we want them to read and also ensure that they already adjust their name, their metric number, their semester that they belong to, and so on and so forth in the correct manner. So we can just say over here, sila pastikan, okay, saya dengan ini mengaku bahawa saya telah faham maklumat yang diberikan adalah benar. Semua update dari butiran peribadi adalah seperti yang dibuat di dalam sistem IBES ini. Sebarang kesilapan adalah tanggungjawab saya. Okay, so basically I'm translating it in English language. I hereby certify that all the informations given under the conditions of the manipulations document for my account are presumably be 100% correct, and therefore any changes or any mistake are no longer be responsible to the system. So it's belong to the student itself. So basically we can create a video that ask the student to look into a videos where explaining their way of manipulations of their data. So basic data is of course lah, is about the profile. Make sure that they are using a correct name, they are using a correct metric number and so on. So saya dengan ini mengaku bahawa saya telah faham maklumat yang diberikan adalah benar. Okay, so I'm just put a condition here. Seperti yang dimaklumkan dalam video ini. So they want to click this video. This specific video is actually a direction for them to click it on and then observe what kind of manipulations that they need to be done so that their information are going to be correct when they generate this certificate. And then the possible answer will be yes and no only. Okay. So if they answer it yes, that's mean they can proceed to the next one. If they answer it wrong, that's mean we are suspending them from getting the chance to get the ability to generate the certificate. All right. So possible answer yes or no. And then I'm going to make this one as a required. Right, save changes. Okay, this is the simplified version only. So you can manipulate and make it much more better. So because the interest of time, I'm just going to make it in the robust manner. And then the next one is going to generate the transcript, okay? Registration transcript. I'm going to put here as registration transcript. Okay. Please generate the transcript by clicking the button provide. Okay. Please ensure you complete the verification process. So verification process is just a simply method for us to make sure that the student read and understand all those conditions with regard to the changes of their name, as I mentioned to you before this. All right. And then I'm going to insert my design. So my designs are actually already being adjusted according to the suitable format given under the conditions of being set by your organization. So we just import it. And then that certificate are going to be adjusted in the Word document, for example. And then that Word document are being exported as a PDF. And then that PDF are being exported back as a JPEG or image file so that we can make it much more clearer in terms of making it in the HD or high definition format. All right. So the next one is simply we need to put the certification text. So I already prepare the certification text here. So let us just using it. So the certification text is available for the IBES officer and also for the LMS personnel who are managing your class or managing your subject or managing your courses. Okay. So this is the algorithm. I'm going to copy it because this setup is actually being linkable to the profile of the student. So the student profile is already being captured. Then this profiling need to be adjusted by the student itself by making a verification process. And after that, they need to do some sort of clicking over here and there, and then when they satisfy with their names and so on, then they can generate. All right, so all these things are going to be produced by looking into all the details or all the informations given here. All right, and then after finishing it up, then I can go to show more just to adjust a little bit so that the certificate will be positioned in a correct manner. I believe it will be not correct at the moment because we need to make some changes, especially on the size here. Okay, so I need to change this one into the portrait format rather than the landscape. Okay, just change the numbers over there. And then certification text horizontal positions, perhaps I'm going to change it a little bit left there. Just have a look after this, what kind of output are going to be produced. And then the options include certification of the QR code, and then print QR code in the first page. Of course, we can put a lot of things. And then we restrict access, all right? So the restriction of the access, the grade. So the grade is more, I'm not going to choose the grade, but I'm going to choose the mass. Okay, we remove the grade. I'm so sorry. We go for the restriction for the activity completions. Okay, activity completions must be marked completed, or you can make it as conditions where they need to fulfilling the grades of that lah. Let me just put the grade here. Okay, so the grade must be the cost total, must be is equal with 100. So that's mean when they verify that one, they got 100%, and then they can proceed with this algorithm. All right, so it is done, and then we can click get certificate over here, and then it will produce a transcript, and then we need to adjust accordingly so that the name, the item, the profile of the students are already in order. Okay, if you can see here, everything looks good except for the down here. We need to adjust a little bit the spaces of that. Perhaps this is happened because of the condition of the transcript is being adjusted in their respective format under the under the original format. So let me just edit it a little bit. So we need to do this process again and again, and of course we need the perfect conditions, and then these perfect conditions of course need to do some sort of adjustment over and over again so that we are satisfied with our conditions that we present to the students. Okay, other options. So let me just issues option, command module setting. Okay, activity completion, restrict access. All right, so printing grade, no. Printing date completion, date issues, of course we want the date to be available over there. Show more. Alternative course name, no need. Date format, no need. Okay, you can just custom it as what you want and preferred. Okay, let us see what's happened to our product or our output by generation of this thing. Okay, I can still see that this QR code is actually preventing myself to get a very clear picture of this thing. So let me just update it again. I believe this is the nature of the data that already being adjusted as according to the position. Oh, text horizontal position. Okay, sorry. So this is the text horizontal position. The positions of the text should be somewhere in the middle. Okay, just make it in the middle there. But of course, you can adjust the QR code positions. Okay, let me just adjust the QR code position. See, this is the text horizontal position. Okay, and then print certificate QR code. Print in the first page. Okay, and then we can show more over here. certificate QR code. Okay, this is the horizontal positions of the QR code. This is where you need to make some changes so that the QR code is being positioned in the correct manner. Okay, so I'm just going to put it here as 5. Then we can see what is the output from that certification. All right, so this certification almost complete. Hopefully this one is fine. Yeah, I think it's good. All right, so this is the name, this is the matrix number, and then we got also this one. Okay, this is something that we need to rearrange this one to go up there a little bit, just a little bit. Oh, no need, no need. Okay, sorry, this one no need because this is the date, and then this is the name and also the metric number. So everything looks good, except you need to rearrange the conditions of the formatting in terms of um, the name of the program. If you see here, the name of the program is not correct because of the profile. Therefore, the students need to have a certain instructions how they want to manipulate their profile so that their profile are correct. All right. So this is the example of the profile, and then they need to change the main profile under here. Okay, you can see here it is a super admin one. Okay, and then semester on that particular things, and then we got the program that they enroll. Okay, this is example, and then we can just update it. Okay, so this is what we want the student do when they with the respect of creating this condition. Okay, and after that you can go here, scroll down, go to the diploma, and then go to the class management, and then we can try to observe what kind of certificate are going to be produced. It's basically a transcript that we need to document it so that we know the student is already registered to the course, and then they are being arranged in a nice manner, you see. All right, so this one actually need to be going down a little bit by changing the positions of the numbers in terms of the spacing of it. Okay, so it's involved the spacing of the data in this region. Okay, so we can just space a little bit. Maybe it's a 2 times spacing, and then we can just save and display again. So the position is actually being adjusted a little bit here and there due to the fact that the number of the subject are being adjusted. All right, so far so good. I think we can show that this one is considered acceptable to be used as main idea of generating your certificate. And then this certificate is not a certificate for the completions of the course, but it's just a proper documentation that show that our students is already being registered in the system, and therefore they only can do this process of registering their transcript or their transcript with regard to the subject. Okay, registration subject transcript registrations. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to registrations of subject transcript. Okay, so because this we need the hard copy document also to prove that the student is they himself or herself doing these manipulations and doing this kind of activities. Otherwise, other people might claim that, oh, okay, I already got the transcript or registered the course, but actually they are not registered to the course. Okay, all right, so I'm going to just put one example of the students. Maybe a dummy student also can be very useful. Let me just use my account as a teacher over here. Okay, all right, so let me just use this account, and then I'm going to specify as students with regard to the 2 days of availability to use this system. All right, so the student is already being enrolled, and then let me just change the name of the students into the account of this teacher. So this is a teacher account already being assigned as a students so that they can manipulate those class management to try the output from this exercise. Okay, so the first step, the students are instructed to go to their profile and then make some changes in terms of the profile at the user profile level. So especially under here, okay, you can see here deep lanjutan edit. All right, so everything is looking good, and then can just update the profile. And after updating the profile, then the students can proceed to be included, okay, to be included inside the class management. So under the semester 1, they got a class management. This one is dedicated. Oh, actually that one is not visible due to the fact that the class is not started yet. So let me just change back to the origin, which is the admin. I'm so sorry because these explanations might counter some time in terms of explaining it, but I really hope that you can get the gist of the idea in making sure that this system or this output can be generated nicely. Okay, let me just double check with this subject, why the subject is not available. So I believe this is the subject that are not available at the moment, and then we can open it. And then course end date is 30 December 2021. And then we can just appearance, do not force. Okay, let me just check the course management, why this subject is not able to be navigated by the students just now. So I believe it is being hide for a while, and then it will be going to be available in the near future, because this is how we want to control the system so that it is only available for a certain period of time. You see, this one is not available. All right, so I'm just going to make it available so that I can demonstrate it to you how to use it. Okay, so now let me just play with the simulation of how to generate the registration certificate that tells the students or the educator or the managers that the student is already assigned to this particular group and courses, and they are agree that their informations are correct. So the first one, the student cannot do anything with regard to the creation of this transcript or registrations of subject document. They need to do some sort of verifications or pengakuan. So they have to answer the questions. And then saya dengan ini mengaku I already certified that all the informations are true and so on. And then I'm going to click yes. All right. But this one is, of course, as long as they click yes or no, they will get 100%. And then this one are going to be generated as the ability to get the marks. Okay. However, maybe I need to change it. Okay. I think I'm doing it wrong because by right, they need to answer um, they need to answer it as a quiz so that they got a marks, and then based on that marks, then they can proceed with generation of their transcript. Okay, let me just quickly change that one from the questionnaire into a quiz. Okay, this might need a little bit of time, but I believe it is really important for you to understand the process and then understand the flow of doing it, and then do it yourself for your program, and then I'm going to do it for my programs, and then I really hope that all of you can work together, in ensuring that the output are going to be good. Okay, SEM1 class management, so I'm going to make some editing here. I'm just going to copy the same questions over there, and then I'm going to delete it because I believe this one is not suitable. Okay, the more suitable conditions to be made under this one is towards the quizzes rather than this one. And in fact, those quizzes, you can copy the link, and then you can manage the link so that it's not looks like a questionnaire, but it is look like more on answering the general statement towards here and there. So it is quite tedious, not tedious per se, but I think we can simplify it in a very good conditions. However, I think this is one of the very important and easier way to do that. Otherwise, we need to do another setup on making sure that all the students can generate their receipt or subject registration receipt. Therefore, I'm going to remove this one. So just delete it, and then we create another one. So we are going to create new one, but not on the questionnaire basis. We are going to use the quiz. Okay. So we are going to say the verification also, pengakuan. Pengakuan is a verification. Pengakuan. And then we are going to make this one open and available to all the students. And then we edit the quiz. And then one of the quiz is basically we add a new questions. And then the questions are actually focusing, you must select the type of questions. Okay, I'm so sorry. I need to select an appropriate questions to be inserted inside this pengakuan. So let me just edit it. We make it as a quiz, but actually it's not a quiz. It is more on the student's ability to make a confession or verifications towards their data. Okay, edit quiz. All right. So we can just proceed over here. I'm so sorry. Okay, a new questions, add a new questions. Okay, add a new question. All right. So I'm going to choose the true and false or multiple choice. That one is much more easier to be used. Okay, so the category are going to be defined under the category 1. Okay, so this is the pengakuan or verification. So this is the question just now. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. I think I'm going to rewrite that again, that words, that lengthy word, which is, I don't believe it. Yeah, I need to rewrite it back. I'm so sorry about this. So let me just quickly write it down. Saya dengan ini mengaku bahawa semua maklumat yang diberikan adalah benar. Saya juga telah meneliti profil peribadi saya melalui capaian yang diberikan. You give the link over here. Saya mengaku bahawa semua maklumat adalah tepat dan akan digunakan sepanjang semester. Saya bertanggungjawab ke atas data yang diberikan kepada sistem IBES. Alright, so this is basically a verification where we need the students verify that they already understood the conditions, that they need to check and change their profile accordingly so that they can get the marks over here. Okay, you see, default mark is 1. And then they got a number of choices. So the number of choices, we can just indicate no numbering. And then we can just make some sort of yes. Saya setuju dengan pengakuan ini. Right, so this one we give the grade of 100 and then we say that no. Tidak, saya tidak setuju dengan pengakuan ini. So when they did not get any response or any marks towards the idea of making a declarations, therefore they are not being given marks, and furthermore they are also unable to generate their certificate, right? And then I'm going to save change. Okay, so we can just go over here and then preview. I'm so sorry. We can just go over here and preview. Oh my god. Okay, this one. We can just go over here and preview. So this is the item. Saya dengan ini mengaku bahawa semua maklumat adalah benar and so on and so forth. Okay, and then we can also attach a link over here. So this is the link that already specified just now. So we can just put any link. So let's say this is the link. Verifikasi profile verify. Okay, all right, and then everything is finished. Then we can go to the save changes, and then that's all. And then we can see here the maximum grade will be 10, and then we know that one question of this will consequently give the marks of 10 to the students, and then we make some changes on our registrations of the subject component, where we indicate if the students get this kind of marks, then please allow them to reproduce their certificate. Okay, I'm just going to go here and then specify the restriction over here. Okay, so the access, the restrictions of the access are going to be the component relevant to the grade given by the pengakuan. So must be is equal to or more than 80%, let's say 80% lah. So basically one question only, they need to get those one right. If they did not get it right, then the certificate will not be produced for them. So let me just double check it. Okay, so everything works beautiful, and then let us go as a students and then submit it accordingly and then see the output. I really hope that this thing are going to be end here, so that all of you can start working on and manipulate yourself of your own subject and also your own semester that you belong with. So all the new students are going to be inserted inside this class management, provided that they are being given a special key or something like that. Okay, you see here, the registration of subject is not available unless they require a certain score in pengakuan. Therefore, they need a certain pengakuan over here, or we call it as a verification process. So let me just put here year and then finish attempt. So we can make it as many attempts, or we can make it as one attempt only. So my idea is just make them available as many attempts, so that they can redo it until they got satisfied with their details and they are really confronting with the real informations given in their profile. So after that, the students are going to get the certificate. So the certificate is basically nothing more than a simple registration slip. Okay, see, so the registration slip is already available for them to be used as proper documentations, indicate that these students is really a live student who are already put in the information inside the system. So the quiz just now can be manipulated in such a way that we can ask the student to enter their names. You can do a lot of other things, but I think the basic thing is we want to filter the students and then make sure that they check their details first, and after they're checking their details, and then they verify their details in the profile, and then they can generate it, and then they can produce this document, and then this document is already being kept inside the teacher drawers. I mean, drawer in this case is basically the teacher repository, and then it can further being used for the documentation purposes. So I really hope that you enjoy this lengthy beneficial information with regard to the class management and also how to create the registration slip for the student, especially for the upcoming new students and also our continuous student. So the first step, you need to gather this template, okay, and then make some changes towards this template. For example, the number, the name of the subject, the credit available for that subject, and then the details that available inside your original transcript that you are planning to be produce it. Okay. Other than that, nothing more, just a simple adjustment here and there. So please, if you receive this idea or receive this format, do not make changes to the other setup. You can just make a simple changes. For example, this one, we want to change it into July to December, right? Because this is indicate the duration, December 2021. And then you need to update your subject. And then some of the subject, maybe you are going to insert it so that it's become 8, 9, or make it less. Just make sure that you try your best not to disturb this pattern. Okay, if you disturb this pattern, for example, just now I'm showing you that the one of my friend make it one more item. So when they make one more item, I need to adjust a little bit. So when you do not want to adjust, just simply arrange in a manner that it will be constricted into this position only, right? So I think that is an holistic idea about how you can use this IBEST in managing your students and also creating the registration slip for your upcoming students. With that, thank you very much. I'm going to give and share with you the ideas also how to change your profile so that the profile can be changed as according to the setup and also conditions, whereby it is very important, especially for the students, to update their details in the format that what we need. For example, the format of their matrix number must be like this and like that. Okay, you see, the management details over here indicated that the students cannot change. So I may need to become the admin after this, and then make sure that the student have the ability to change this one. If the student do not have the ability to change, therefore their matrix number are going to be like that until the end of their semesters. Okay, and then they also need to change their semester period, whether they are semester period 1, 2, semester 1, semester 2, 3, and 4, and so on. Okay, that's all. And then in a summary, this is one of the process, a beautiful and systematic process to educate our students to enjoy using the iBest in managing details and also helping us as teacher to document everything digitally so that it's make our life much more easier. Okay, with that, thank you very much. See you again next time. If you got any inquiry and also questions, please do comment on the descriptions of this video. Until then, we see you again next time. Sekian. Assalamualaikum and bye-bye.